In section 3.4, we're going to look at income based off of salaries or commissions. So someone who is paid salary, this means that they are paid the same amount of money no matter how much they work. So a person in management a lot of times will have the same amount of paycheck every week, every 2 weeks, or every month, no matter how many hours they work. So many times if you're paid salary, you're expected to work at least 40 hours a week. If you work 50 or 60 hours a week, it doesn't really matter. You still get the same amount. And even some places, even if you are paid salary, they might actually expect you to work closer to 45 hours a week or more. It just depends upon when you're hired in and the salary that they give you and the amount that they expect you to work. So that's all defined up front, but point is you don't get any extra money for working extra time. Commissions is when you are actually paid based off of the percent that you sell. So this could either be an additional amount of money that you get and treated like a bonus, or you may be 100% commission based off of what you sell. So for example, if you're a salesman someplace, they may have a base salary that they give you, and it may not even be a very high amount. And then they may give you a commission on everything that you sell. So they would expect, when you look at how much money you think you're going to make for the year, they would say, okay, this is how much we're going to pay you as a base, this is how much we expect you to sell per year, so you would get this much bonuses, and overall this would be your total pay. That would be your salary plus your bonuses. Somebody that's in real estate, though, they typically don't get a salary amount, and they are only paid every time that they sell a house. So if you're a real estate agent, your pay is 100% based off of your commissions, and it's all based off of what you sell. So let's go on ahead and see a few sample problems. So here we have Peggy Kites, and she's an owner of Baldwin Pianos. She is paid 100% commission based on the sales for her business. So the first item we have here is we say the business has sales of $10 million and her commission is 2.5%. What is her annual, monthly, and weekly pay? Well, the book that you have actually gives you a couple different formulas, and I'm just going to use letters to represent these formulas, but the first formula I'm going to look at is they've given us our sales and they've given us our rate. And so what I want to know is, what was her commission payment? So her commission payment is equal to her sales times the rate. So here I have $10 million is the sales for the company times these 2.5%. Now you'll see here I changed it over into decimal format, and that's because this 10 million is in decimal format. Everything here needs to be in decimal format. So when I do that, this is going to tell me, and I multiply this out, that her commission for the year is $250,000. Now if we look at this on an annual basis, that's something that's good to see, but many times it really helps us because we don't think in terms of how much do I make a year. We might think, how much do I make a week, or how much do I make a month? And some businesses do actually pay by the month. So let's look at this first one. If I want to know how much of this I make a month, I'm going to take my annual amount and I'm going to divide it by the number of months in a year, which is 12. And when I do, and I divide that out, that tells me that per month I'm getting $20,833.33. Likewise, I can convert that into a weekly amount. So I'm still going to take the $250,000 and I'm going to divide that by 52 weeks. And when I do that, it tells me I'm going to get $4,807.69 per week. And so this is a lot easier for us to understand as we look at how much money she makes. I also would like to mention that even though this part of it said that she made $250,000 for the whole year, that doesn't necessarily mean that she actually made $20,833 per month, or that she made $4,807 per month. These are just on average how much she made per month. If we were to pay her by the month, or to pay her by the week, so this is by the week amount, this is by the month amount. If we were to pay her by the month or the week, we would actually say, okay, this is how much we sold during this period, let's say for that month, and we would multiply that by the rate, and then we would calculate out how much money she made for that month or for that week. And so these are just on average, but if this were in practice and I were on payroll, I wouldn't have estimated her annual. I would have said, okay, this is how much we sold and when we sold it, and that would be your commission pay. So Helpful to see it like this, but in actuality, that's how we would actually calculate it. All right, the next part says her annual pay is $200,000 and her commission rate is 2.5%. What were sales for the year? Well, in most cases, in these places, you may know what you sold for the year, but it's always a good idea to try and keep track of that and to know actually what you sold. So there's another formula that we can look at in the book, which is sales equals your commission divided by your rate. And when we look at that, it shows that my commission is $200,000, and I'm going to divide this by my commission rate. And when I do, that's going to show me that she sold $8 million worth of sales to get $200,000 for her annual pay. So if you work in a business that gives you commission, you are always going to want to be tracking your sales. You may even want to perform this calculation just to make sure that what you said you sold matches what they said you sold. So this is a very valid calculation to be concerned with and to understand, to make sure that the sales amount you show and the sales amount they paid you match up. Now, for this last one, it says her annual pay is $330,000 and her sales were $12 million. What is her rate of commission? So again, the book gives us another formula in here, and we have rate equals commission divided by sales. And so to calculate this out, we're going to take the annual pay that she got, which was $330,000. We're going to divide it by 12 million. And when we do, that's going to give us a decimal. Now, I really prefer to see it in, I'm going to go on ahead and write it in decimal format, which would be 0.275. But because we think of rates in terms of percentages, we're going to go on ahead and convert that to a percent, which is 2.75%. And for me, that's kind of what I prefer to see this in as a percent. So this would be a great calculation to make sure that the agreed upon percentage that you're saying you get is the amount that you actually got. So if you know how much you've sold and you can see in your paycheck how much your commission was, you could make sure that they actually paid you the correct percentage of commission on those sales. Here we have Hillary Hahn plays the violin. She can choose to be paid a $400,000 salary amount, or she can make $250,000 per event. If she estimates that she'll be playing in 175 events per year, which option should she choose? Well, what we would want to look at is we would say, okay, well, we know that she can get at least $400,000 no matter what, but let's see what she can make if she does play in 175 events based off of the $2,500 per year. So I'm going to take $2,500 times 175, and when I do, that gives me $437,500. So $437,500 is more than this $400,000 salary amount, and it's quite a bit more. So if she really thinks she'll get that many events, I would say her best bet is to go on a per event basis. Now, if this was barely more, like maybe this ended up being, $4,000 and $400,000 and maybe plus another 1,000, then she may choose just to go with the salary amount because it would be barely more. But because it's $37,000 more, then she probably should go with the per event because it's worth the risk. Even if she only gets 172 events and she doesn't get 175, she'll still end up with more money. Now, down here it says she also loves her violin that was handmade by Jean-Baptiste Vuillaume in 1865, and she wants to sell his brand of instruments on the side. She will receive 15% commission on everything that she sells, and she expects to sell $200,000 worth of instruments per year. So how much additional money can she make by selling these instruments? Well, since it's on a commission basis, if she estimates to sell $200,000, she can take that times the 15%, and when she does, that's going to give her an extra $30,000. So she wouldn't only make this $437,500, she would also have to add on this $30,000 if she's able to actually sell these instruments at a 15% commission.